Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how I did this. I modeled the bottle, textured it, and applied these bumps here. So let's start. So I'll be using Arnold Renderer. So if you don't have Arnold, you can actually purchase it and use it. It's a very nice renderer. So let's start. So I'll just walk you through, not like a step-by-step tutorial. So I'll just walk you through how I did it. So I'll just disable all these lights and let's just start. So the bottle, this is it. This is the bottle. This is how the bottle looks. So if I go to this view here, this is how the bottle looks. These lines you're seeing here are added in the materials. So this is how it looks. And then the liquid inside, it's also another same bottle duplicated. So this is the liquid, this cloth was to give it thickness, and then this is the top. So how I textured this is very simple. So the texturing, we have the main texture, this that has a bump image that drives the bump. So it's the displacement, sorry. So this image is driving the displacement, and then the standard material is driving the glass. So here I just picked glass, and then I came here to IOR and also picked glass. I changed nothing on that, so that was just that. So I will delete these materials and also delete this and also remove the liquid. So what I started with was this, which is just you go to create and then Arnold surface and then standard surface. So on this material, so before we go to the material, first thing I did was came to this one here, this, and then I unwrapped UV. So to unwrap UV, you change this to UV edit, and then with everything selected, you go to projection, and then because it's a cylinder, you do a cylinder. So when you do a cylinder, you'll have this. You can actually fit it to scale, so you know. So once it's like this, you will know which areas to put what. So this is the area where most of the texturing was going on. So once this is done, just select everything, Control A. So then I saved this. So save new texture. So you give it a name, like maybe label main. So you're saving this part here. So save it. So once you save it, you can come to layers, and then on this layer, you can come to texture selection, not texture selection, you come to layers, and then you say you can outline polygon, which if you say okay, you'll see those lines there. And then so this one you can save all textures, and then you give it what you can now tell you, save it as PSD, and then you say okay, and then you pick where you want to save it. So you just save it. So you have that saved. So you can go back to your setup, So I'm using this setup. So with your UV unwrapped and saved, so I came there and then opened. So if you open it with Photoshop, where is it? So label main. So if you open that, so this is what you get. So with this, here you can align your things. So this is what I did. Then it came to this result here. So you have this. So in this label is just something I downloaded from online, from FreePic. So if I remove this is how it looks. So these are the ones driving the bumps. So if you can look at these, so those ones I just added, these are just rectangles that I added that driving the bump, and then this is masking out where the label is going to be. So let me just, so black will mask out, so this area the bump will not affect, and these are the areas that are white plus the text here will be bump. So this is like the base of the texture. So this is the base. So when you come to this, now you import that base, this as a bump onto that, and then now you apply it to your glass. So when you apply it on your glass, this is how it looks. So then the next thing I did was to add the liquid. Liquid was just a material, and then I changed the I don't know, I changed the transmission to this color. So nothing fancy, just it's a glass, and then I used ethanol. So it's a glass material, but now the IOR is ethanol to mimic alcohol. Then that one I applied to that. So then now when you check it, it looks like that. So already something is coming out. So if you can see here, you see the writing there. So the writing is engraved there like so. That's how I did that part. So then the other part that was I also did, if you look at this, if you look at this, now you see there is the base texture, that is this, that looks like a paper. These are just some paper I downloaded online, and then there's the golden part, and then there's the silver part. So how you build this, from my texture I separated this to be white, so this one's also white. So this is what is going to mask out the gold material that you're going to apply. So this is how it works. So I have the gold material here. This is the silver material, sorry, for the top part, but now we're not going to use it right now. So this is the silver one. So it has an image, this, and then a bump. So if you open this image, it's just text. So it's just this text ID. So if you come and look at the label, let me just bring up that label. If you come and look at this label here, if you look at this label here, you see the paper and then the silver part. So this part was driving the silver. All the writings is supposed to be silver, and then these patterns I decided to put gold. So how I build up this is so I separated I separated this pattern from the writing so that I can be able to control them linked with each other. So here is how I did it. So I had this smart object that was an Illustrator file. I disabled all other element except for the text. So if I bring back some of these elements, see, I removed that, I removed the gold parts, so you have that. So, and again, so that was driving the golden part. So if you can see, I did the way I said, this part here will not be displaced like here. So see, these parts are displaced, and then this part where the label is going to be is not displaced. So the next thing we are going to do is to apply the our main base, which is this paper. So if you look at this, there is this paper here. So we're going to apply this paper. So this paper will be like the next material after the glass. So we'll just put it, the next material there. So if you preview that, you see it's already showing and cutting out. So how I made it to cut out the ID part. So let me just remove that first. So I can remove this clear, and then when you preview, everything else turned to black like this with the bumps, okay, and running. See, the bumps are there. So to make it only appear where the label is supposed to be, so I selected the material, and then when you come here to stacking, you can select material and then you get this option, and then you come to mode. So normally the mode is on none, so but when you go and put texture, and then you can specify the texture that you want to drive that part. So for my case, the texture that was driving that part was this one here. So this one, let me just open it and see how it looks. So if I open it, this is how it looks. So it's just the outline of the paper and then cut out of the names. So this is the main texture. So when I opened it, I have the base paper. This is where we want to mimic like a printed paper where the label is going to sit. So the label already, the base of the label is already seated there. So if you look at this, it's just a metal which is supposed to be silver, and then with a higher roughness so that it's not too shiny, and then so that's the base. So the next thing, because we want this ID to be silver, so I went here and applied just a normal material. It's just a metal, and then just silver like that. So this one you just apply it on the same, but when you preview it, this is what you get. So there's the bump, and then there's that, and then there's everything. So how to fix that to make it only appear where the label should be? It's same thing. You highlight the material, you come to alpha stacking, you enable texture, and then you pick your texture. So how this texture is built, it's like this. So it only has the name, the text. So yeah, so then once you do that, reload, and then when you preview now, so now you see. So another part that we added was this part here. So the silver one, then the golden part. So on the golden part, just created a normal material, golden metal, then just changed the color a little. That's why it's saying that, but it's just gold like that. And then what we did, the same thing, texture, and then you pick the gold outline. So how the gold outline was built is mostly the same. So if I go here and then edit, this is just the outline. But because I had this UV, I know where I'm supposed to place the textures so that they are in line. So this is just being used, this part is just being used to mask out the rest of the gold and then leave only this as golden. So if I apply that, yes, so pretty much done with it. So that's what I did on the label. So just several materials and masks to mask out the other ones and so on. So the top part, the same thing, I unwrapped this. So how I did that was come here, selected that, go to UV unwrap, go to UV edit UV, and then that, and then the same thing, save, come to layers, and then outline poly. That happens after saving, and then you only apply material on this top part because I only wanted this top part to have that golden shine. So same here, top part, here it is. So what happened is the same. So if you edit this, this is it, this is how it looks. So this is what we applied. So what I did, I also applied the paper one on the top part. So and then I put here, let's say ID. You save this, save, and then you come here and then come to the top silver part. You come to this material and then reload. You select that material and then top part, reload. So when you apply this onto the top part, you should see it appearing here without doing any other extra struggle, because that's what we did with that's how we set it up when we unwrapped it. So we know this is where the top is, these are where the sections of the other parts are. So like that, you see. So what we can do is maybe, so this, you can actually disable that, so just have it there as ID. So that was mostly what I did with this model here. So it's pretty much basic things, but makes the final result looks better. So now when we go to lighting, so on lighting I used this is the backlight. Actually this is the key light for this. So you just zoom in a little. So what I did with the lights, I didn't just use lights, the normal lights, I added a texture onto the light. So I just designed something, a square texture, and then ramped it from dark to lighter. The same thing I did with the sky. I also did downloaded an HDRI image and then blurred it a little so that we don't have sharp reflections. So that's why this light is like that. So if I go back to that, now you can see the difference. It's sharp at the middle, but then if I go back to texture, then you see it's just smooth light. The same thing I did with all these other lights. So this light was the backlight, and then there's a side light, like the highlight light, and then another back highlight light, and then the top part. So that's mostly how I did lighting on this. So, and then some of those things, some of the tweakings were added through the Arnold tag. Then I added exposure. Like the difference is actually very, see. So if I take this exposure to default the way it was, so 1, this is what you see with just the lights. And then when you can use that tag to at least control some of the properties of a physical camera, because Arnold is a renderer that is supposed to be working like a normal, like in a normal environment, a normal camera would do. So this is what we have here. So this is pretty much how I did the whole process. If you have any question on how some of those things that I'm mentioning there are done, you can just leave a comment. So the final result is here. That's how we got this result here. So thank you for watching, and see you in another tutorial. If you have any question, just leave it on the comment. Bye bye.